game easily. BTB, who's feeling the same? Everything that we speak is building a flame. It sparks from the beat, so remember the name. From the bars that we bring, who's killing the game easily. BTB, who's feeling the same?
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the BringTheBars podcast. As always, I'm your host, KC, and I'm joined by first-time guest and MP Productions artist, Buddah. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Happy to be here, man. You know,
I always love getting new guests on, and I reached out to you because I know you've been doing a little more collaborations with the BTB group as well. So was excited to get you on. But with new guests, before we kick it off, I kind of want you to just introduce yourself to everybody, let them know a little bit about your music and where they can find you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm everywhere, man. I'm on Spotify, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Apple Music, man. You can find me just about anywhere, on Tidal, everywhere, man.
And how would you describe like your genre of hip hop, your style of music?
Well, personally, I like to keep it a little broad, you know, like hit every aspect, but I like to gravitate more towards like the old school type of boom bap, like New York sound, or sometimes I'll dive heavy into the lo-fi scene.
Yeah, I've noticed that with a lot of your collaborations with RAP. You guys really bring some 90s vibes into a lot of your tracks for sure.
Oh yeah, man. Well, it's how we were raised, you know.
Exactly. And how did the name like Buddah come about? Did you have other names before that, or you just like always had the name Buddah that you went by?
It was always Buddah for me. It came about actually because I used to be like a little plump kid when I was younger, and just sitting around with the homies one day, and we were smoking, and then I had my head shaved. One of the homies just looked over and they're like, "Man, you're so fat. You look like a Buddah." So I was like, "Oh, I can roll with that." And then everyone started making fun of me for being like a big guy. They're like, "Oh, you're so fat, you're Buddah." And I was like, "You know what, man? Buddha's like a really peaceful kind of guy. So I'm gonna just lean more into that, you know, and kind of do my own thing. You guys can call me Buddah all you want, but I'm not gonna look at it in a negative light, you know."
Yeah. And it also fits like the stoner vibes as well, you know, just the Buddah
100%.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a dope name. What made you fall in love with hip hop? Like what artist or track do you remember hearing the first time that just like made you fall in love with the genre?
Honestly, I fell in love with the genre through listening to like old school hip hop with RAP. My older brother, you know, just sitting there like doing nothing but just sitting there and listening to a song and hearing that one line where you just look at each other and you're like, "Oh my God," you know, like he just said that, and just getting the reaction out of everyone, you know.
Yeah, when it's the best when you have certain artists, like Eminem's a good example. Like sometimes you have to hear a track like 8 times and then you'll catch new lines every single time and you're like, holy shit, he just played on those words that I didn't even catch.
Oh yeah, I still do that till this day for like really old tunes that I listen to.
Yeah. So what, like, that made you fall in love with hip hop. Who or what inspired you to actually become an artist yourself?
Um, I grab a lot of inspiration from like MF Doom, Eminem, a lot of that. But the one that really pushed me to start making hip hop and get into the game and all that was RAP. You know, just growing up with him, and like there's plenty of times where we'd be sitting there and I'd look at him and be like say he had like 2 Arizonas, and I'd be like, "Yo, man, can I have one of those?" And he'd look at me and be like, "Yo, man, if you want one, you got to spit a bar." And I was like, "Oh shit," you know, like, so just seeing the progress that like throughout the years of him just being like, "Yo, man, it's time to spit a bar," and I just get better and better, and then I'd go hang out with my friends, and I'm like, "Yo, man, check out this cool thing I can do," and then just starting to do it, and people are like, "Yeah, man, you're really good," and da 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 da, and just going on.
That's dope. It's in the family for sure with you two, man. And
Oh
so
yeah.
when you guys started off, like you guys just kind of freestyled back and forth, or did you guys actually write?
Um, a lot of the time back in the day, it was just freestyle off of the head. Sometimes we would challenge ourselves with, you know, like, okay, we have 15 minutes to sit here and come up with like, let's see who has the best verse, you know, like sit here and write for 15 minutes, play a beat over and over again, and then we'll spit it. But then at the end of the day, it's just freestyles, you know?
Yeah, it's basically how I started out as well, man. All freestyles all the way. It took me a while to like get into writing, and a lot of artists, like what pushed you to actually put your voice on recording for that first time? Like, were you nervous? Because everybody, when they hear their voice, you know, played back, sometimes everybody's just like, my voice sounds like shit or something, you know?
No, see, I'm still like that, man. Whenever I put my voice on a track, I still find it sounds a little eh. But the first time I actually did it was, I feel like it was very much a spur of the moment thing. Brad told me that he wanted me to do it, and I contemplated it. And then I went to go hang out with a group of friends of ours, and actually Blue Light Fever, one of the guys that do a lot of our like beats and like mixing and all that. I went to go hang out with him, and I explained the whole thing to him, and he was like, "Well, man, like let's just do it. Like let's just get in it." And then we made the song, and it was actually the first song that we did, Smoke Break with Riche. And
Okay, yeah.
I honestly, I thought it was a good tune, but I didn't expect as many people to enjoy it as they did, you know? So that's
Yeah,
what really, I find, pushed me to like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do now. You know, I did it and people like it, so let's go.
yeah, for sure. That was a dope track. I go through before the interviews, I went through probably all your tracks on MP Productions on YouTube. Links will be below. But yeah, that was a dope track. And I never knew, because you guys are the Sudbury connection. But for people watching this is Canada talk right now. But
Yeah, yeah.
and I was North Bay, and it was so funny, like, because North Bay had an okay hip hop scene, but from what I hear with the Sudbury Slam sessions RAP does, and just that whole connection, I didn't know hip hop was so big there.
Oh yeah, man. We got a nice little community of hip hop artists up here in Sudbury. They're all doing
Yeah,
their thing. They're all doing really good.
yeah, that's crazy. It's definitely surprised me. And what is your like writing process like? Do you like to hear a beat first? Do you kind of come up with the song title first, or lyrics? How does your whole writing process go?
Well, I like to start with the beat first. I'll generally just get like a few beats at the same time and go through them, see which one vibe with the most. And then when I find one that really like captivates me, I'll sit there and drive myself insane listening to it over and over and over and over again. Like when I write my lyrics, I know I've noticed a difference between me and a lot of people where they'll like, you know, work on a line at a time and all that, but I'll replay the beat from the start and just rap everything through and through until I get to that one line. I'm like, okay, what goes there? Then I'll rap the whole thing over again. I'll rap the whole thing over again. So by the time I finish a song, I think I've rapped it maybe like 150 times.
It's funny you say that, because I do almost the identical thing where, especially in like 4-bar segments or something like that, I'll have to start, if I finish the fourth bar, I have to start from the first to
Yeah.
see if it all lines up. I do the same. And like you said, by the time you record it, you almost memorize the whole track for sure.
Yeah. No, it's something that I've noticed a lot, because I'll have Blue Light and then Gen X, who also helps us out with our beats and our production and all that. Anytime I go record with them, they're always like, "Man, you do it in like one take, two takes." I'm like, "Well, it's because it's like memorized in my brain."
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I went through a lot of your tracks before this interview, and one I got to give you mad props for. I don't even think I heard this before today, which I'm surprised, was All Falls Down.
Oh.
Props to that, man. That was a dope track. You put yourself out there. How did that whole concept of that track come about?
I was just looking for because like I love doing remixes. Like ever since I was a young guy, just hearing a track and being like, you know what, like I want to put my own twist on this. So as soon as I heard the instrumental for All Falls Down, I have always been a big fan of that song. And then as soon as I heard it with the chorus in it, and I was like, oh, honestly, I need to get on this. With the female vocals that were beautiful, just
Yeah.
the way that the beat is built, you know, I was like, I need to do this. And I kind of wanted it to be, I don't know, I find the original song is a little more like upbeat, not really upbeat, but like
I know it's,
the thing,
yeah. Not
yeah,
as like emotional, or as much emotion that you put into the track, I find.
yeah. So I feel like with the chorus being like it all falls down, you know, I wanted it to represent like a possibility in life, and like this is where my headspace is at right now, you know.
Well, props to you, Mix. I think that's one of my favorite Buddah tracks I've heard. I love them all, but that's definitely on the tops. And We were talking earlier about collaborations a little bit. We did one together, Summer Times. I listen to that track more in the winter now because it brings me back to that time, and weather has been shit here.
You know what? That's exactly what I wanted with that song, is so you can listen to it in the summer and have good times, and then listen to it in the winter and just be brought back to like those good times.
Oh yeah. Like I just can sit there and listen to it, close my eyes and imagine I'm on that beach with the barbecue going. For sure. Yep. And for collaborations, you've done a lot with your own label, MP Productions, but you're kind of stepping out. I know you have a couple coming with other artists. You did one with myself. What kind of collaborations are we expecting within the BTB group, and who would you want to work with within the BTB group?
One I would love to work with is Otis Isaacs.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing. Like every time he has a song come out, I just go check it out right away. And I'm like, man, like another one, you know, like yeah. One I'm working on right now actually should be coming out rather shortly. I'm working on a feature with CMAC.
Nice. That's the one I knew about.
Yeah, that's another one where it's just like that guy just like every song I hear of him, just incredible. And then he did the feature with Brad, and that's what really sold me. Like on it, him and RAP together, I was like, man, I need this guy on a track.
Can you say anything about the track? What kind of style track it will be, or anything like that?
All I can say right now is that it's going to be a bars heavy track.
Nice. Well, CMAC represents Bring the Bars now, so I know you guys will bring it. I can't wait for that track, man. So make sure you tag me in that drop for sure.
100%, man.
And going through, like, where you do a lot of solo work, a lot of collaboration work, which one do you prefer? And do you like tackle a collaboration differently than you would approach like a solo track?
I find I do a little bit. Like I find for the solo tracks, I challenge myself a lot more, and I'll be more on my ass per se, you know, like being like stressed out about it and like this is how I need it to be and all that. And when I find I do feature tracks, I find they're just a little more looser, and they're a little more just about like me just having a good time with the person I'm collaborating with, you know, like just let's just us get together and make something cool, but also have a good time doing it, you know, because that's how I was raised, you know, just spitting with friends and having a good time. And
yeah, I feel you on that. I love doing collaborations, and it's also nice if an artist hits you up for a collaboration because you already got like the subject matter and everything down. You're like, all right, cool, I'll just hop on this then.
100%.
Solo tracks definitely are a lot tougher, I find, just because you have to come up with the whole subject matter, the whole song, hook, everything.
Yeah.
I'd love to get you on Global Domination 3. So I'm going to ask you on the podcast now if you'd be willing to hop on Global Domination 3.
Man, I would love to. It'd be an honor.
I was thinking actually having you and RAP on a track for part 3. So
that'd be sick. That'd be a really good time.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. So we talked about like BTB artists you want to collaborate with. Let's say if you were to put together a cipher. Let's say you add 5 artists into the cipher, yourself included. So 4 other artists into a cipher, mainstream, underground, whatever it is. Who would be the other artist you'd pick to be on your cipher?
I would choose. I would love to have RAP on a cipher, just because like the amount of ciphers that me and that guy have spit, and they're just always like incredible to me. So like I would love to have him there. I would love to have Charlie Soul on a cipher.
Yeah.
That guy is something else, I'll tell you that. Yeah. Yourself, I would love to have you on a cipher too.
Nice. I'd love to hop on one.
Yeah, and then Johnny Business.
Yeah. You guys did a track together, didn't you?
He's on the Subway Slam Session Volume 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I didn't know much about that whole MP Productions connection, but all your artists, man, you guys bring it. I know you had a falling out with one. We won't mention his name, but yeah, all you guys definitely bring it for sure.
Yeah, we try, man.
Yeah, and being like an artist, it's tough because like most of us, especially in this BTB group, we're not mainstream. We're all underground, independent. We juggle full-time jobs, families, everything. How do you like make time for yourself for music and kind of juggle everything?
I always just find like I'm a person that has like a very active mind. So whenever I'm sitting down doing anything or doing nothing for like at least 2 minutes, I'm automatically picking up my phone, writing some lyrics. Um, like a lot of the times when I get to work, I'm alone for the first like 2, 3 hours. So I'll just throw on a beat in the background, walk around, do what I have to do, but I'll just be rapping to myself and be like, oh, you know what? That's a good bar. Oh, that's a good bar. And then I'll always try to plan, Sunday's my recording day. So
Okay.
I always tell like, because I've been at my job for a long time now, so I kind of have that leniency where I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what, Sundays don't schedule me.
Yeah. Did they
I'm
actually
busy.
not schedule you?
Yeah. I think this coming Sunday is the first Sunday that I'm working in like probably over a year.
Yeah, you were telling me that before when we were trying to set up a schedule to get this interview going.
Yeah.
And for like, let's say you're going to put together a greatest hits album, like a Buddah greatest hits album. What would be the top 3 tracks of yours that you'd want to put onto your greatest hits album?
Uh, that's a good question. I would personally do Who's Sorry Now because I love that track.
Mhm.
It was such a fun track to make and just like this fun energy like getting through that song. And then I would do my 2 remixes, All Falls Down and 444.
Nice. Yeah. I was wondering if you're going to throw All Falls Down on there.
Yeah. All Falls Down, it was funny because it started off to me as like just like I was very worried about it because like there are certain things that I touch on in that song that are a little sad and a little
Yeah.
emotional. And I didn't want people to look at me and be like, oh, well, poor you, like, oh, wow, you must be really going through it. And I'm like, no, you just listen to the song. If you vibe with it, you vibe with it, like,
Yeah. I didn't take that from it at all. I just found like it was you on it. Like
yeah.
when I was first hearing your music, when you kind of ventured into the BTB group after your brother, I heard a lot of bars from you, but I didn't really know like who you were, what you went through. And then you
Hmm.
have these certain songs you sprinkle in there that you put like your story, and only you can tell that story. So I always love those kind of tracks for sure.
Hmm.
And being an artist definitely is tough. We all go through it, ups and downs. What would be your favorite part about being an artist and your least favorite part about it all?
My favorite part about being an artist at this level right now is just getting like the small recognition, like when you messaged me and asked me if I wanted to do the podcast with you, you should have seen me. I messaged Brad right away. I showed my girlfriend. I was like, look, like someone recognizes what I'm doing. And it's just awesome. Like I got an offer the other day to go perform at a local bar that we have
Nice.
in March. And like it's going to be my first concert. And it's like they approached me to do that because they respect what I do and they enjoy my music. So I'm like, damn, like it's just those little things.
Yeah, that's dope. And what would be the hardest part for you?
The hardest part for me is like I find when people don't take me seriously as an artist, like a lot of people just hear like, oh, you're making hip hop music, you're just another SoundCloud rapper in your mom's
Yeah.
basement, all that, and like trying to show people my music. It's happened to me a few times where I'm in like a public setting with a group of people and I'm like, hey, would you guys want to check this out? And they're like, oh yeah, play it, play it, play it. And I'll play it and I can tell no one's paying attention and like they're talking over it and all
That
that. And,
drives me nuts, man.
oh yeah. And then the song's done and they're like, oh yeah, it was a good song. I'm like, yeah, sure. Cool.
Oh, that drives me absolutely nuts. Even when I'd show my wife or something, and like I'll listen to the track, and then she'll say something in the middle. I'll be like, "Shh!" Like, listen. After you hear it once, the second time we play it, talk through it, but the first time because I
Yeah,
pride myself definitely on the lyrics.
oh yeah, man, just listen to the lyrics, man. That's all I want.
Vibe out, smoke one, and just listen to the track for sure.
100%.
So, like, what are some you're about to perform, which is crazy? Are you doing that in Toronto or Sudbury or?
Yeah, in Sudbury.
Okay, cool. Uh, that's a big step for sure. So in like 5 years from now, let's say, what are some goals you want to achieve as like being an artist? Like what kind of platform do you want to reach? Who do you want to reach? And what do you want to accomplish?
Um, I want to reach just anybody who's enjoys the music, that's my thing. Like if you don't like it, then don't listen to it. Like
Yeah.
if it's not for you, then it's not for you. It's no big deal to me at the end of the day. But like if you do enjoy my music, just enjoy my music, listen to it, like that's the people I'm making my music for, or the people that truly enjoy it and like can appreciate it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And as for goals, I would love to do like a whole like MPP BTB like festival at some point, like years down the line, where it's just like all of us just doing something for a few days out somewhere.
Oh man, that'd be so much fun. Like we actually, I don't know if it was RAP who brought that up in a post or something like that about a month back, and then, or like who would have you be your opening act and stuff like that. He made this post, and then everybody's saying, and everybody had different names, which was dope because the whole group, both sides, MPP and BTB, man, they have so many artists. And then we were saying, man, we should do this as a fucking festival for sure.
Yeah, like it would be a good time.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be a blast. We definitely got to get something going. I know I've been talking with RAP about shows as well, so I think 2023 will definitely be a big year.
No, it's going to be.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because you're one of the few guests I've had on this show. I think actually maybe the only one besides your brother, where you guys actually interviewed me quite a while back when you guys used to do your little podcast. So how do you prefer being interviewed compared to doing the interview?
Honestly, at this point where I'm at, interviews I find still make me a little nervous, but like it's it's like a good nervous. It's like, like I'm getting this done, but I'm like, I'm still like, don't say anything stupid. Don't, like do this. But as opposed to giving the interview, I already know what I'm gonna say. I already have my questions. I already have everything down. So
I feel you on that.
yeah, I think ultimately though I prefer being interviewed more than giving the interview.
Yeah, it's funny you say it. Even the nerves, like even me doing this show when I first started, my very first interview like 2 years back, episode 1, we're episode 63 now. Was with JP, and I was nervous to interview him. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I'm just gonna put a podcast together. And even to this day, when I start the interviews, I still get a little nerves before it because I don't know how the person's gonna respond. Or, but they're a lot of fun to do.
Oh yeah, they're all.
And you're talking about all these producers you work with. You guys, Gen X, right?
Yeah, Gen X and Blue Lake Beaver.
Yeah, and out of producers, even like mainstream ones, if you were to pick any producer to produce a track for you, which producer would you pick?
Man, it's an ultimate dream of mine to have a track done by DJ Premier. Like that's my all-time favorite like DJ producer. So that's my go-to, DJ Premier.
Nice, that would be dope. For me, it would definitely be I'd love to have something with Jazzy Jeff.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I love scratching sounds, that old school vibe for sure.
Me too.
And looking at the time here, we're getting closer to the end, but I just want to ask you kind of what's coming next from you? What can we expect from Buddah in 2023?
Well, right now I have my track, another solo track called Articulate coming out in February. I have the feature with CMAC coming out very shortly. And I'm slowly working on an album right now, and I want it to drop this year. So that would be greatly appreciated, or it would be a good thing if I got that album out this year.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I was actually going to ask you if you had any plans for an album, or are you going like the single route? Any tracks out that you have out now that you'd kind of put on the album, or would just be all brand new tracks?
It would be all brand new tracks.
Oh man, you got it. I hope to hear it before the end of the year for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Get you on the BTB awards. That'd be a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, it'd be a really good time.
Yeah, you're actually going to be nominated for an award actually coming up on the BTB awards for best new BTB artist. So good luck to you on that, man.
Hopefully I get it.
And before we close this show, I don't know if RAP told you about this segment, but you watched the show before. You're a new guest, so we're gonna do name those bars. Name
Okay.
your bars. So basically, I got 5 tracks of yours. I have a bar or 2 that I'm gonna read out to you, and you let me know if you can guess which track these bars are from.
Okay.
All right. First one I got here is Curse with an irresistible urge to rap. Picked it up as a child, never wanted to put it back.
That would be Secret Tunnel featuring RAP.
That is right. You're 1 for 1 so far. We're on to the next one. We can just vibe out under the covers, no sex, just trying to learn from each other.
Unfortunately, that was from Flutter.
That it is. 2 for 2. Let's see if you can go 5 for 5. The third one here is when things are looking bleak, I used to roam on the street, nothing to my name, empty stomach and no food to eat.
That one's from Knots.
Yes, it is. 4th track here. Whatever they say, we just disregard because today's a good day to go and die hard by far.
I believe that one's from the Beastie Flow, but I might be wrong.
That is from the Beastie Flow, my favorite Buddah RAP collaboration right there. You guys, I have to say this now because I'm giving you your flowers for that track. Fuck, man, what an incredible track.
Thanks.
That must have been a fun one to write, eh?
Really fun to do.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys tried to that beat everything. Like, everybody's watching this. Check out Beastie Flow, best of Buddah RAP collaboration in my books. So you're 4 for 4, man. We're going for the 5th and final one. It's drinking beer all day till I develop a stutter. Not worried about tomorrow or how the fuck I'll recover.
That is from our track together, Summertimes.
It is, man. You went 5 for 5. You're one of the few to actually do that. I would always laugh at somebody who would do that segment to me because I don't know if I can go 5 for 5.
It's weird. I have like a weird thing for remembering lyrics.
Yeah, and I always try to just grab the most random middle bar or something like that. I listen to the track, try to find something that stands out, but I don't like picking like the first bar of a sentence because usually I find the first line is the one you remember the most, you know?
Yeah.
But there we have it, man. You went 5 for 5 on Name Your Bars. We got to meet you a little bit, your introduction on the podcast to BTB. And yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, we'll keep in touch. Would love to collaborate with you again. And yeah, keep active in the group, man.
I will.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah, you as well.